The cross as a symbol in Christianity, exploring its fascinating interpretations. The cross is one of the most recognizable and profound symbols in Christianity, representing far more than just the physical object upon which Jesus Christ was crucified. Over centuries, this symbol has taken on layers of meaning, becoming a focal point of devotion, reflection, and theological interpretation. Its significance transcends mere imagery, carrying spiritual, historical, and cultural connotations that have shaped the Christian faith. The cross as a symbol of sacrifice. At its core, the cross symbolizes the ultimate sacrifice, Jesus Christ's death for the salvation of humanity. In Christian theology, this selfless act is considered the fulfillment of divine love, where Jesus, despite being sinless, took on the sins of the world and bore the punishment of death so that humanity could be reconciled to God. This interpretation underscores the depth of God's love and grace, often referred to in scriptures as an act of atonement. For believers, the cross serves as a reminder of the lengths God was willing to go to for the redemption of mankind, transforming an instrument of torture into a symbol of hope and redemption. The cross as a victory over death. Beyond sacrifice, the cross is also interpreted as a symbol of victory. Though it was initially associated with death and suffering, Christ's resurrection 3 days after his crucifixion gave the cross new meaning. It became a sign of triumph over death and sin. In this context, the empty cross is a symbol of Christ's victory over the forces of evil and death itself. Early Christian theologians, like St. Paul, referred to the cross as the means by which God disarmed the powers and authorities and made a public spectacle of them, triumphing over them. Colossians 2 verse 15. This interpretation highlights the idea that death does not have the final word and offers believers hope in the promise of eternal life. The cross as a call to discipleship. Another powerful interpretation of the cross is its role as a call to discipleship. Jesus himself said, "Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me." Matthew 16 verse 24. This instruction implies that following Christ requires a willingness to face hardship, endure suffering, and sacrifice one's personal desires in pursuit of a higher purpose. In this sense, the cross is not just a relic of Christ's past. It is a present and ongoing challenge to live a life of dedication, service, and faith. Many Christian traditions emphasize this call to carry one's cross as a symbol of enduring faith through difficult times. The cross as a symbol of unity. The cross also serves as a powerful unifying symbol for Christians across the world. While the crucifixion took place over 2,000 years ago, the cross remains central to Christian worship, theology, and identity. Churches from all denominations incorporate the cross into their spaces of worship, whether in the form of crucifixes, artwork, or jewelry. It is a shared symbol that transcends cultural and geographical boundaries, linking Christians from diverse backgrounds in their common faith. The Apostle Paul even referred to the cross as the means of reconciliation, breaking down barriers between Jews and Gentiles, and creating unity within the body of Christ. Ephesians 2 verses 14 to 16. Diverse depictions and interpretations. Interestingly, the cross has been depicted in various forms throughout Christian history, each with its own meaning. For example, the Latin cross, which resembles the traditional cross shape, is the most widely recognized form. However, there is also the Greek cross, in which all arms are of equal length, symbolizing balance and harmony. The Orthodox tradition often uses the Byzantine cross, with additional horizontal lines, signifying Christ's inscription and footrest during his crucifixion. Some depictions of the cross emphasize Christ's suffering, like the crucifix, which portrays Jesus hanging on the cross. This image is common in Roman Catholicism, where the suffering of Christ is deeply meditated upon. In contrast, Protestant traditions often favor the empty cross, emphasizing the resurrection and Christ's victory over death. Each depiction reflects a particular theological emphasis, demonstrating the richness and diversity of interpretations within Christianity. Conclusion: the cross, as a symbol in Christianity, is multifaceted and deeply significant. It serves as a reminder of Christ's sacrifice, a representation of victory over death, a call to discipleship, and a symbol of unity among Christians. Its interpretations have evolved over time, yet it remains central to the faith, embodying the heart of the Christian message. Whether worn as a piece of jewelry or displayed in a place of worship, the cross continues to inspire reflection on the profound mystery of God's love and the transformative power of faith. The cross also represents suffering and compassion. as Christ's crucifixion is seen as the ultimate expression of empathy for human pain and hardship. Jesus, through his death, experienced human suffering to its fullest extent, bearing physical, emotional, and spiritual anguish. For believers, the cross is a source of comfort, knowing that Christ understands the depth of human sorrow and offers compassion. This aspect of the cross fosters a deeper connection between God and humanity, emphasizing the belief that God is not distant but is present in the midst of human suffering. This interpretation often resonates during times of personal and collective hardship, where the cross becomes a reminder that God is with people in their pain. It also calls believers to reflect on their own capacity for compassion, urging them to respond to the suffering of others with the same love and care that Jesus demonstrated. The cross, therefore, becomes a symbol of both divine empathy and human responsibility toward one another. The cross in contemporary culture. In addition to its religious significance, the cross has also found a place in contemporary culture, often serving as a symbol beyond its Christian origins. It appears in fashion, art, and even pop culture, sometimes as a purely aesthetic choice or as a symbol of rebellion and nonconformity. This secular use of the cross can be controversial, especially for those who view it strictly as a sacred emblem of faith. However, it also demonstrates the widespread recognition of the cross as a powerful and evocative symbol, even in non-religious contexts. In contemporary religious life, the cross is sometimes seen as a bridge between tradition and modern expression. It remains an integral part of Christian practice, whether displayed in homes, churches, or worn as a personal emblem of faith. Its continued prominence in modern Christianity reflects its enduring power to convey profound spiritual truths, while also adapting to the evolving landscape of culture and personal belief. The cross as a symbol of forgiveness and reconciliation. Another important interpretation of the cross is its role as a symbol of forgiveness and reconciliation. At the heart of the Christian narrative is the idea that Christ's death on the cross was an act of forgiveness, offering humanity a path to reconciliation with God. The cross stands as a testament to the belief that, through Jesus' sacrifice, sins are forgiven, and broken relationships, whether between God and humans, or between individuals, can be healed. This interpretation is central to Christian concepts of grace and mercy. The cross represents the boundless forgiveness that God extends to humanity, encouraging believers to extend the same forgiveness to others. In a broader sense, the cross becomes a model for resolving conflicts and divisions, both within the church and in society. It challenges people to pursue peace, healing, and unity in their relationships, embodying the message of love and reconciliation that lies at the heart of Christian teachings. Conclusion: the cross as a timeless and transformative symbol. The cross, in its many interpretations, remains a timeless symbol that continues to shape Christian thought and practice. It is a symbol of sacrifice, victory, discipleship, suffering, compassion, unity, forgiveness, and reconciliation. Whether viewed through the lens of theology, history, or personal faith, the cross holds a transformative power, offering a profound message of love, hope, and redemption. For millions of believers around the world, the cross is more than just a symbol. It is a living expression of their faith and a daily reminder of the transformative power of Christ's love. It speaks to the core of the Christian experience, calling people to reflect on the mystery of God's grace and to live lives marked by compassion, forgiveness, and service to others. The cross, in all its fascinating interpretations, continues to inspire devotion, reflection, and a deeper connection to the divine. For many Christians, the cross embodies the paradox of suffering and hope. While it stands as a stark reminder of the intense suffering endured by Christ, it also points to the hope that emerged from that suffering, namely, the resurrection. In Christian theology, suffering is not the end of the story, but rather a path that leads to new life. The cross, then, becomes a symbol of the belief that pain and hardship, while real and often unavoidable, are not permanent. Through the resurrection of Christ, the cross transforms from an instrument of death into a beacon of hope and renewal. This idea resonates deeply in Christian spirituality, where believers are encouraged to see their own struggles and suffering in the light of the cross. Just as Christ overcame death, they too can find hope and strength to persevere through life's challenges. The cross offers assurance that after sorrow comes joy, after despair comes hope, and after death comes life. This dual message of suffering and hope has made the cross a source of solace and inspiration for countless individuals throughout history. especially in times of personal or communal adversity. The cross and the global church. The cross serves as a unifying symbol for Christians worldwide, but its meaning and presentation can vary across different cultural contexts. In various parts of the world, the cross is adapted to reflect local traditions and artistic expressions. For example, in Latin American countries, the cross is often brightly adorned with flowers and vibrant colors, symbolizing life and resurrection alongside Christ's suffering. In Ethiopian Christianity, the cross is intricately designed, symbolizing the unity of heaven and earth through complex patterns. This global diversity in how the cross is depicted underscores its universal relevance and adaptability. Despite the variations in form, the core message of the cross remains the same, offering a shared symbol of faith for Christians from vastly different cultures and backgrounds. It reflects the inclusive nature of Christianity, where the message of Christ's sacrifice and love transcends geographical, linguistic, and cultural boundaries. The cross in interfaith dialogue. Interestingly, the cross has also found a place in interfaith dialogue, particularly in discussions about shared values and symbols across religious traditions. While the cross is distinctly Christian, themes associated with it, sacrifice, love, forgiveness, and redemption, resonate with values found in other religious systems. For instance, the concept of self-sacrifice for the greater good or the pursuit of reconciliation and peace is central to many religious traditions. In interfaith contexts, the cross can sometimes serve as a bridge for understanding and conversation, allowing people of different faiths to explore common ground while also respecting their distinct spiritual perspectives. This has been particularly evident in movements for peace and justice, where people of various religious backgrounds unite around shared moral and ethical principles, even if their symbols differ. The personal cross, a symbol of individual faith. For many individuals, the cross takes on a deeply personal significance. It often represents one's individual journey of faith, carrying unique and intimate meanings for each believer. Some people wear a cross as a sign of their personal commitment to Christ, while others place crosses in their homes as a daily reminder of their faith. The cross may also mark important life events, such as baptisms, weddings, or funerals, symbolizing the presence of God in both moments of joy and grief. The personalization of the cross reflects its ability to speak to the diverse experiences of believers. For some, the cross is a reminder of the comfort they find in their faith during times of hardship. For others, it may symbolize moments of spiritual renewal or personal transformation. This personal dimension of the cross highlights its role not only as a communal religious symbol but also as a marker of individual spiritual journeys. Conclusion: the enduring legacy of the cross. The cross remains one of the most enduring and dynamic symbols in human history, its interpretations continually evolving while maintaining a core message of faith, love, sacrifice, and hope. From its earliest depictions in Christian art to its widespread use in modern culture, the cross has inspired devotion, sparked theological reflection, and united people across centuries and cultures. Its meanings are vast and layered, allowing it to speak to the collective experience of the Christian faith while also addressing the personal and unique spiritual journeys of individuals. As both a symbol of suffering and a testament to hope, the cross stands at the heart of the Christian narrative, reminding believers of the profound mystery of divine love and the transformative power of grace. Whether seen in churches, worn around necks, or displayed in homes, the cross continues to be a powerful and timeless emblem of faith, hope, and redemption. In more recent theological discussions, particularly within liberation theology, the cross has also been interpreted as a symbol of justice and liberation for the oppressed. Liberation theology, which emerged in the mid-20th century in Latin America, views the cross through the lens of social justice, emphasizing Jesus' identification with the marginalized, poor, and suffering. Christ's crucifixion is seen not just as an event of personal salvation but as a call to action for societal transformation. According to this interpretation, the cross represents God's solidarity with the oppressed and a denunciation of systems of injustice and violence. Jesus, who was unjustly executed by the Roman Empire, embodies the suffering of those who are exploited or marginalized in society. The cross, then, becomes a symbol of God's commitment to the liberation of those who are enslaved by poverty, racism, inequality, and other forms of oppression. In this context, the resurrection is seen not only as a victory over death, but also as a sign of hope that injustice and oppression can be overcome. The cross inspires many Christians involved in activism, advocacy, and community work to fight for justice, equality, and human dignity. It is both a source of strength for those facing suffering and a challenge to all Christians to work toward a more just and compassionate world. The cross in art and literature. The cross has been a powerful symbol in art and literature throughout history, inspiring countless works that explore its many layers of meaning. From the early Christian period to the Renaissance and beyond, artists have used the cross as a focal point to depict scenes of Christ's crucifixion, resurrection, and various aspects of Christian devotion. These works often reflect the prevailing theological and cultural attitudes of their time, offering visual meditations on the meaning of the cross. In literature, the cross has been used symbolically in a wide range of contexts. From classical Christian poetry to modern fiction, writers have used the image of the cross to explore themes of suffering, redemption, and the human experience of faith. In some cases, the cross serves as a metaphor for personal struggle, sacrifice, or the search for meaning in the face of adversity. For example, John Donne's famous holy sonnet Good Friday, 1613, Riding Westward, reflects on the cross as a symbol of both personal and cosmic significance. Donne contemplates Christ's suffering and death while recognizing his own spiritual shortcomings, drawing a connection between the cross and his personal journey of faith. In modern literature, authors like Flannery O'Connor have used Christian symbols, including the cross, to grapple with themes of redemption, grace, and moral complexity in the lives of ordinary people. The cross and the environment, an emerging interpretation. A more contemporary interpretation of the cross that has gained attention in recent years is its connection to environmental theology. In this framework, the cross is seen as a symbol not only of human salvation but of the redemption and healing of creation itself. Environmental theologians argue that just as the cross represents the reconciliation of humanity with God, it also points to the need for humanity to reconcile with the natural world. This interpretation is based on the idea that Christ's death and resurrection have cosmic significance, extending beyond human relationships to include all of creation. The Apostle Paul hints at this in his letter to the Romans when he speaks of all creation groaning and waiting for redemption, Romans 8 verses 22-23. For some theologians, the cross serves as a reminder of humanity's responsibility to care for the earth, addressing the ecological crises of our time, such as climate change, deforestation, and pollution, through the lens of Christian stewardship. In this view, the cross is not only a symbol of spiritual renewal but also of environmental justice. It calls Christians to work for the healing of the planet and to view the natural world as part of God's good creation, which must be respected, protected, and cherished. The cross, therefore, becomes a symbol of hope for the redemption of both humanity and the earth, a call to action for a more sustainable and compassionate relationship with the environment. Conclusion: the cross in a changing world. As the world continues to change and new challenges arise, the cross remains a symbol that speaks to both timeless truths and contemporary issues. From its origins as an instrument of execution to its status as a symbol of faith, hope, justice, and liberation, the cross has continuously evolved in meaning, responding to the needs and concerns of each generation of believers. Whether viewed as a symbol of personal salvation, social justice, environmental stewardship, or spiritual transformation, the cross continues to inspire and challenge Christians around the world. Its enduring power lies in its ability to hold together seemingly opposing forces, suffering and hope, death and life, sacrifice and victory. In its simplicity, the cross carries profound depth, offering a message of love and redemption that remains as relevant today as it has ever been. As Christians look to the future, the cross will undoubtedly continue to play a central role in shaping how they understand their faith, their world, and their place in it. It will remain a source of inspiration for those seeking meaning in the midst of life's complexities, as well as a reminder of the profound mystery of God's love, which transforms even the darkest moments into opportunities for renewal and grace.